What's up guys? We are going straight into the action and you can see me right here on my way to the starting line at the German Windsurf Cup. It was the last event of the German Windsurf Cup. I haven't sailed any events since many years. And yeah, this is the second elimination. So before this elimination, we already finished one round. Finishing that one round took us, I think, 2 or 3 hours because we had so little wind. But yeah, despite that, they still did some super light wind foil racing, so it was super exhausting until this point already. And yeah, so right now you can see me, I have already cramps in my forearms, and now you see me doing a tack. And I have to do this tack because I'm very late to the start line. This is round 1 in elimination 2. The top 5 in this round advance to the semi-finals. Then the semi-finals come, and again the top 5 will advance to the A-final. And of course my goal for this event, as you saw in the preparation videos on my YouTube channel, was to enter the top 10. And yeah, right now you can see a little bit the fleet that is forming upwind of myself. And yeah, really luckily I made it in time to the starting line. And yeah, you can see it's very silent out there also, and now you see some of the other sailors. Again, this is round 1, so all the really good sailors, they're not so stacked in this round. And now you can see, yeah, the countdown and the green flag. And as you saw, I had a pinging start. I had a perfect start. Timing wise, of course, when you look at my speed, my start was super bad. But the IQ sailor below me, he was definitely over early, for example. And yeah, this is now the first leg. You can see it's barely any wind. I'm on my 7.8.7 F1SL foil race sail. And yeah, I'm on the big, or yeah, you know, normal foil slalom board. And now you can see I actually have some okay speed for, let's say, between 6 and 11 knots that we had in this round. And yeah, in front of me you can see Jesse, and below me you can see some more IQ sailors. And yeah, now comes the first jibe mark, and of course, you know, this is round 1. And I knew that I had quite good speed. My equipment was working really nicely. So the only thing that I was scared of was crashing or catching a lot of seaweed, basically, or messing up the jibes. Because of course, if you mess up, you won't make it to round 2. And yeah, now I have a little chat with Jesse. That was a very funny moment actually on the race course. Jesse was complaining about my Patrick foil because, as you can see, apparently it's quite fast. He was on the Phantom foil, and yeah, I was on the 650 front wing. So yeah, my sail, despite all that, was way too small. All the other, let's say, top riders were on the 8.8 and the 9.0 foil sails. But still, my jibes looking good. Everything is smooth, and now I'm leading in round 1. Again, this is the quarterfinals. This is the qualification round. The top 5 advanced to the next round. And now it is actually yeah, an interesting situation for me, because in the races that we did before on that day, I was never leading a heat. And now leading a heat feels very strange, because all of a sudden, when you're the leader, you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, because this is totally up to myself at this point. You know, if I mess up the jibes, if I fall, if I crash, it's all purely my fault. And if you're further back a little bit, and if you're in the fighting positions, you don't think too much about that responsibility, and you feel a little bit, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like if you're not leading, you feel more in control of the situation, although this is of course not correct. But yeah, now my thinking process is pretty much just, you know, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Yeah, as you can see, 43 kilometers an hour, the speed is sort of okay. No special speed. On that day, I don't know how many knots that are, maybe 25, 26, I think, something around that. Yeah, last jibe, I do it, and at this point I pretty much knew, okay, I made it to round 2, and yeah, we'll skip the part until the finish line, because luckily I made it. Now, straight into round 2. This is now the semi-final, and now it already gets a little bit more tricky. Again, top 5 advance to the next round. And yes, you know, I'm not an experienced foil racer yet, so this all was still very new to me. I only did one other foil competition this year. This was the Racer of the Sea. That was extremely fun. And yeah, now you can see I'm in time regarding the start. So this is the usual procedure at the start. You know, you can see my watch at my wrist. It's now at 1 minute. And now it's 1 minute until the start. And yeah, you can see the formation again, you know, all the sailors. And now you basically, it's not as easy as the first round was, because now from 2 qualifications rounds, the top 5 are of course in this semi-final now. And yeah, my goal of course again, what I had to do of course was go into the top 5, qualify for the A final, for the top final, because in the top final there are the top 10 sailors then of all the around 40 participants that we had there. And I knew if I make this round, then I will be in the top 10 of the event. And of course this was my clear goal. So now you can see, yeah, it's already looking a bit different at the starting line. Everybody is foiling. And yeah, now this is getting close a little bit. Sketchy. Yeah, I think this time it was no over early because of the angle of the Insta360. It all looks a little bit yeah, weird sometimes, but now you can see, okay, speed-wise, it's now a different story. Jesse is ahead of me once again, a Danish guy, then an IQ sailor, but I don't have all the names in my head at the moment. I think it's Lasse in front of me there, and then above me is Lars. Funny, it's the camera guy of Nico. Shout outs to Lars. And now comes the first jibe. I'm in 5th position, so now I will have to fight a little bit for my qualification actually. Of course, I knew that, so it already stress level goes up a little bit. But yeah, I do a nice tight jibe. If you look to the back now, you can see, okay, the fleet is separating already. And now, yeah, it's again that second reach. You can see I overtook Jesse. He's now behind me. And again, I have a pretty good line now. So my speed, I'm already again above 40 kilometers an hour. And yeah, I can take the people on the second reach once again. And this is really the key, you know, it's positioning, especially in the super light wind racing, because as soon as you go downwind of the other sailors, they will steal your wind, and when you have less wind you will have so much less speed. It's incredible, especially when you are on a small sail like I am. And now if you look to the back, you can see I did a really nice jibe, and all the pack, you know, it's fighting behind me. And yeah, I got clean air now. Still you can see it's lighter now. I'm not fully getting up to speed, but yeah, around 40 kilometers an hour in this super light wind, you know. I have, to be honest, I have no reference. I don't know if that's good or not. I guess it's like medium, okay-ish. Yeah, I'm in 2nd place. I'm totally happy with that. It's the semi-final, so it's a qualification round, and everything at the top 5 is okay. But of course, when you are finishing in a top position in the semi-final, then you already know, okay, you won't be last in the A final, probably at least, if you don't make mistakes. Another little jibe. And from what I can tell, it was an okay jibe, didn't lose too much speed. And yeah, you can already see it's really light here. If you look a little bit further to the right, you can see it's more windy there. Yeah, I'm closing in a little bit on the Danish guy, I think, who's ahead of me. Sorry, I forgot the name. I'm not really good with names. And yeah, again, it seems like in this direction I usually had a, had a better speed for some reason. It's probably also the course, because the second reach was more downwind. So when you're going a little bit deeper downwind, then it can, in super light wind, actually cost you a little bit of speed because you have less wind when you go downwind, of course. Now the last jibe. Yeah, bit sketchy. But if you look at the speed, I didn't drop off the foil, and it was totally fine. And now again, it's the same game, you know. I don't know how it is for other racers, but for me at least, you know, if you're also competing, you can let me know in the comments. But for me at least, I always try to focus on the race, But in situations like this, where you're literally alone in second position, I'm thinking to myself, you know, please, no seaweed, please just let me finish this race. Now I hit some seaweed actually, and you can see that with my speed. You can see how I'm losing speed. Now I'm trying to push again. But as soon as you get a little bit of seaweed on your foil, boom, it stops you from going fast, so you need to focus. So that was the semi-final. Now comes the A final in just a moment, because right now I will try something new. It's a little advertisement. You can skip that advertisement, just skip forward. Guys, so I'm gonna try a new style of advertisement right now. As I said, if you don't wanna see it, you can simply skip it. So what you can see right here are a few of the harness lines that we are selling in our surf shop, the Wind Lounge. And here a little bit deeper, you can see even more harness lines. Oh my God. And our best-selling harness lines are these harness lines right here. I've been also using these harness lines for the past year, and I want to quickly tell you why these harness lines are one of the best Vario lines that you can find on the market, if maybe not the best, at least for their price. And they are quick Vario harness lines. This means two things. You can put these harness lines onto your boom without, you know, dismounting your boom, and you can change the length of the harness lines while... Oh, hello.
Servus, wo war denn gestern?
Hier?
Nö.
Doch?
Gestern genau.
And what makes these harness lines special is the following thing. First of all, this cleat here is of good quality, so it doesn't wear out so fast. With other brands, I often had the problem that after a few sessions, this thing breaks. The second important thing is this long black thing here. And what it does is it keeps your harness line stiff while riding. I know it sounds wrong, but it means that these harness lines aren't twisting a lot when you're sailing on the water. And this is also the reason why many PWA riders choose, without being sponsored, to use these harness lines. And the last thing that is special about these harness lines are these yellow... Oh.
Servus.
Moin. And the last thing that is special about these harness lines are these little yellow sewings right here. And what these things are doing is quite interesting. It gives you a little bit of a stop when you're changing the length of the harness lines on the water. Because imagine you're racing full power out on the water. You are pressing this little button here to lengthen your harness lines. And with most other harness lines, what will happen is, if you're hanging into the harness full power, it just goes whoop all the way through. But when you press this a little bit, you have sort of a little stop in here, so you can go inch by inch. Of course, this doesn't work perfectly, but it actually helps. Long story short, if you're looking for new Vario harness lines for an okay price of 59 euro, then these are probably the best harness lines that you can get. They are linked in the video description below, and if you want to save a little bit of money, then you can use the code MARIO5 to save 5% on your next accessories order in our online surf shop. Just type in the code at the checkout. And with that being said, I would say let's go back to the A final. Now guys, we are in the starting sequence of the A final. And yeah, to be honest, I was kind of nervous at this point, because also I was very exhausted. I really had cramps in my entire arms. Yeah, I'm dropping down now for a specific reason, because I wanted to get rid of some seaweed. And yeah, now it's getting interesting, because I knew, okay, there are the top 5 riders. By the way, now I'm getting rid of the seaweed, very annoying. But there are the top 5 riders at this event, and they were really good. So they were above my level, and with the rest I felt like, okay, I can compete quite well if I'm not doing any mistakes, which of course is a big part. And yeah, now we are in sequence. And to my left on the duotone sail, for example, you can see Vincent Langer, many times German champion, yeah, amazing windsurfer, of course. Yeah, you can see him getting closer now, also on the on the Ian foil. Then you have Fabi Wolf, all the way at the bottom, where Vincent is going now. He's also right now PWA rider, makes it to A finals in the PWA, and now this heat is stacked. Not a single rider that is not competitive in this heat. And yeah, you can see it right at the start pretty much. It's a different kind of line up. If you compare that to round 1, if you go back in this video, yeah, it looks a lot different, of course. And now we are getting close to the start boat. Everybody is pushing. And I knew if I wanted to have a chance to do okay, I needed to push at the start. Yeah, moment of silence for the start sequence. And yeah, actually I had a perfect start. You can see I went with 40 kilometers an hour over the starting line. And now you can see I actually have clean air. All these other guys are above me, but I chose, it seems at least like I chose a relatively good line. And yeah, my speed is okay. And just overtook the Danish guy, peaked at 44 kilometers an hour. And now I'm in third position. And now I got really nervous. I'm behind Vincent and Fabi, the two top guys, of course, that I can't reach. And but yeah, now the other guys are coming close, and now it's getting difficult. And now I'm doing the first mistake. I wanted too much. I didn't pay attention to the line that I was going for, so I made a jibe too low. And now if you look at my speed, you can see I don't have enough wind. It's really hard for me to accelerate up to my speed again. And the others that are now above me, they are on 8 sails. So yeah, they have better wind, bigger sail, and now they have an easy time catching me, really easy time, unfortunately. But yeah, until this point, I still felt quite good. You know, I'm now in fourth position. Of course, I had to realize, man, the guy is rolling me. But if you look at my speed, you can see it's simply a lot slower than on the first reach, for example. Now I did a bad jibe. I got really nervous at this point, and yeah, now unfortunately the Danish guy is also overtaking me on his forefoil and the loft sail. And yeah, but if you look at my speed right now, you can simply see that I, first of all, I had a too small sail, and second of all, I made really bad decisions during the race. My lines were simply really bad. I'm now getting the bad wind from all the others. To me, it was really frustrating because with 34, 35 kilometers an hour on the reach, you feel so slow. It is crazy how slow you feel. Now I'm getting faster because now the wind is freeing up a little bit again. But yeah, you can't be in these top 5 if you are almost not foiling at some point during the race. You know, the last jibe, I did an okay jibe. I think right now I'm in 6th position, and now I realized, okay, with this light wind, I have no chance to do any maneuvering or push. So I was just, to be honest, I was happy with my position at this point because I knew I'm not last, I'm in the top 10, I'm 6th. This was the best elimination result of any German Windsurf Cup event that I ever did. Of course, I have to say, a couple of years ago, the level was much higher. Many more yeah, high-skilled slalom riders were at the German Windsurf Cup a couple of years ago. Now you have a lot of young IQ sailors also there. But yeah, this is now the last jibe. Sketchy jibe. But yeah, I knew this is it. I sort of made it, and now I just again didn't want to hit any seaweed. You can see that now that everybody is gone, I'm easily up at 40 kilometers, 41 kilometers an hour again, and this really, yeah, it shows you the variety of skills that you need when you are racing. Because the one thing is to simply be able to sail in a straight line, and the other thing is to be able to choose the line, you know, to time your jibes, to do the jibes well, and these things you have to train, and the others simply, of course, you know, I had more experience, did that a lot better than I did. I didn't feel like it was necessarily just the speed. Maybe I would have needed a bigger sail, but race-wise, the others were simply better than I was. But still, I had a really good feeling after this race because being in 3rd position, at least until the first mark, for me at least, it was a great achievement. So I finished the event in 7th position. Overall, with that, I was happily in the top 10. I managed to do it. For those of you who followed my YouTube channel and saw my preparation videos, it really paid off. If you want to know what fixed my trim, it was the back wing angle. My back wing angle, after all, was the problem. I put a little bit more power, you could say, into my back wing through that angle, and that really helped me to sort of fix the problems where I first thought it was the sail. If you enjoyed being part of my thought process in that race and this little video, feel free to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to this YouTube channel to not miss any of the future YouTube videos. I'm already working on the next ones. And of course, guys, if you need new harness lines, you know where to get them. Check out the links in the video description, and I would say see you the next time. Bye bye.